Alright fellas, so we'll get a start. So thanks for coming along today. First day of Alderley. So this will be day one of three. So the situation is, if you've read the brief from Major Tom, as he calls himself.
Yep.
So we've got the current situation is there's intelligence that indicates likely MVA presence north of Bolam village. The location is estimated to be at grid reference 084979. Enemy strength is somewhere around company strength, so there's enough people there that we don't want to get into a firefight with a group that large, because we'll probably come off second best. Our mission is to reconnoitre that area of concentration 084979 and determine strength and the size of enemy presence in that area. How we'll execute this is today we'll jump on the Hueys and we'll move from the task force base here to the landing zone Beaker. That's the primary landing zone. If that's compromised, like if there's bad guys there waiting for us, we'll shift to alternate landing zone Gonzo, and then from there we'll debus at the landing zone and proceed to the LUP through the various waypoints, which we'll talk about in a moment. The rules of engagement for today is to avoid contact with the enemy. So if we obviously get attacked, defend yourself in the patrol. That's always the case, but we're not looking to get into a firefight. So if we do get into an engagement, we'll look to break contact fairly quickly and move away from the area. We're not looking to go in and take on the bad guys. Ideally today we won't fire a shot, and that's likely to occur. So the main challenge we'll have today is actually just staying together in the thick jungle. We'll talk about it in a moment. So this is a reconnaissance patrol, it's not a fighting patrol, so just bear that in mind. Admin logistics. So the patrol is scheduled to occur over a 3-week period, this being the first week. Patrol composition, if you bring up your map, you see the patrol composition today is a singular patrol with Scout being Burger at the front, then myself, patrol commander, followed by Pixel as the signaller and 2IC for the patrol, and then you've got Boyer as the gunner, and at the back is Such as the medic. So medic just simply means carry a little bit more medical gear, like a few extra bandages. Don't be too stressed about it, but we basically want Boyer to be the gun. I believe he's got the M60, which is good. We don't need any other guns, and we only have the one 77 set in the patrol, which Pixel will have on his back. Command and signal, so 40, so task force based OC is away, so Major Tom's on holidays at the moment, so perhaps he'll be back next week. We'll see how he goes. He's sunning himself on Vong Tau Beach apparently, so there you go. We'll work with the one patrol today being 4-1, which is as I've just stipulated, and in terms of SIG, frequency is 4-1. It's not particularly pertinent today because there's no other elements that we're working with, but the helos and artillery will be controlled by Simplex. So obviously Pixel, you're well versed in that, so we'll use the helos as transport, and if we need any indirect fire support, you can call that in via Simplex as well.
Right.
In terms of the movement, if you bring up your map and scroll across to the top sort of northeast portion of the map and zoom in a bit, so we'll follow the white dots most likely. We'll debus at the landing zone Beaker, and then when you get on the ground we'll move northeast and move to Beaker 0, which is a quick rally point. It'll be 5 or 10, 15 meters into the jungle at that section or that location on the landing zone. The main thing that goes wrong with these type of patrols is at the point of debus, people kind of scatter everywhere like headless chooks, and we've got to try and corral people together because they've gone in different directions. So make sure you go northeast and find that little bump in the clearing where Beaker 0 is. Once we consolidate there, we'll then shoot our first bearing and head towards Beaker 1 waypoint location, which is on that 143 feature. That's a fair distance for a waypoint in thick jungle, so we'll use a series of spot-ites probably just to confirm our position, and then from there we'll proceed through the waypoints as marked on the map, which go essentially from spot-ite to spot-ite all the way to Beaker 9, which is just short of the target area, where we'll just set up a lie-up point and probably finish up this week at that location. We may stop earlier than that depending on how slow and how difficult the progress is. We could have a mine incident drill, we could get into a contact, whatever it might be, but we'll stop at one of those waypoints ideally and set an IEP and come back next week and then carry on from there. So I'd imagine we won't be actually looking at the target area this week. I'd be very surprised if we do. So we're just getting there this week, and that's probably the hardest part of the mission. So that'll be what occurs today in terms of movement. As mentioned earlier, if we go into an alternate mode and go to LZ Gonzo, we'll just go through the waypoints similarly to Beaker and end up at the LUP, which is to the southeast of the target area at spot 141. So that's sort of our method of getting from landing zone to the target area. So the main thing to stress again is this is a recon patrol, it's not a fighting patrol, so we're not looking to get into firefights, and if we do, we're going to get out of the area quickly. We're a small element, we can't be getting into any protracted fights, so we'll be fire and moving as we need to stay away from the bad guys as much as we can. So any questions on any of that? Is that all fairly straightforward? Makes sense to everyone?
Yep.
Alrighty, without further ado, let's jump on the chopper and actually let's just give a couple of minutes if you want to just check your
Fox,
go
one
ahead.
second.
Yep.
I will take some bandages, couple of bandages, and
Take a few minutes just to get your admin in order. Burger, that might give you an opportunity just to set up a bearing to that first waypoint from the LZ, and so grab your bandages, etc., and we'll step off in a few minutes.
Super.
Okay, go to alternate. Alright, northeast.
Doing northeast.
radius out. Nice and slow.
Right, moving.
Contact right. Not seen.
Contact right!
Contact southeast.
Okay. Break contact west. Move west. Move west to me. Move west to me. West.
West.
West. Break contact west.
Flux, man.
Break
Yep.
contact
Peel back. Peel back. Yeah, moving west. Moving west. Coming through west.
Back up, firm.
West. Low.
Okay, firm here. Firm here west. Pass me. Quick, quick.
Firm.
Last man, burger.
Don't worry about smoke. Just go. Last man.
Coming through. Last one.
Right, firm here west. Keep going west.
Firm.
Moving last man. Coming through.
Last man.
Keep coming through west.
Firm.
Second moving. What's off, man?
Last man. Coming through last man.
Where last man?
Okay, reorg on me at this log. All round it. All round the man. All round defence on me. Okay, whisper again. Okay, in 2 minutes we're going to change direction north. We're going to go north about 1,000 metres and then we're going to turn east.
Roger that.
Okay, going to go 1,000 metres north and then turn east.
Roger.
Going to go 1,000 metres north and east. Alright, let's go. Burger, step off north, 70%. Go into a harbour. Just stay there. Just stay where you are. Okay, pull into a tight harbour around me so you can just hear me. I'll explain. So we've moved approximately 1 kilometre north based on distance and time, so it won't be exact. So we're just going to change direction east from here, and we'll move towards the area of operations where there are more features that we can use to determine where our location is. At the moment it's all pan flat, so it's based on bearing and pace counting and time estimates. So we'll move east, we'll start seeing some uneven ground, etc., and we'll be able to work out our exact location. Any questions?
No.
Alright mate, Burger, lead us out, moving east, 70% pace again. Alright, if everyone just bring up their map quickly. I think that we're in a quiet spot here. We'll be quick though, don't want to all have our maps out, but anyway. If you bring up your map, you'll see there's 3 black squares. The one closest to the landing zone, Gonzo, was approximate where we had our contact. We went north and then we shifted east from that second square. That's north of LZ Gonzo, and moved east to where we had a rest, and then we've moved a further 300-400 metres, I believe, around where I'm just holding, somewhere around there. I just highlighted I can't do it and transmit at the same time, some stupid ArmA thing I've never figured out how to fix. So I think we're somewhere between Gonzo 4 and Gonzo 5. I'm not sure if we're directly north-south of that or short of it or past it, but we have a number of spotites or features around us that we can use to identify where we are just by triangulating some of those positions. So we're going to have to move around to determine that. So what we need to do first is move to a high point somewhere, like one of the spotites, and then start to move out in like spokes of a wheel out in different directions and determine different spotites and the direction from the initial part that we start. Now I'm seeing a large feature that's starting to form to our southeast, about 30-40 metres to our front, I think.
Yeah, there's a re-entrance there.
Yeah, so if we go forward east another, say, 20 metres and then just follow that feature up to its highest point, and then we can start to speculate what that feature is, and we can do the spokes of the wheel from there. So we've got a centre point that we can reference out from. Alright fellas, just bring up your map again. It's a bit unorthodox, but I'm just explaining it as I'm... So we've just gone... We went east, and then we went... It was flat, and there was a bit of a drop down, and then we saw a spotite, we followed it up southeast, and we're at that point, or is that point, of several spotites, but there aren't any other that have this sort of flat and then southeast. If you look at all of them, there's always a spotite. Whether if you look at the map, either at 138, where the purple line points to, or at one of the spotites further near the G4 waypoint, where it's 137 and the other 138. We can't be 139, 140 because we would have bumped into 137 and 138, but it was flat, if that makes sense. So the ground was flat the whole way, so it can only be the two 138s or the 137. So and I'm pretty sure it's the one that we're pointing at, because I can see the ground start to elevate to our west where it goes up, because obviously 139 and the two 140s are higher than where we are now. It's only a couple of metres, but it's still a slight rise. Let's step off and figure out where we are, or confirm where we are, I should say. it'll dip down and then rise. It should dip down and then it'll elevate after that. Yeah, there it is. It's just over here to your right. Okay, so this is 140 feature. If you bring up your map, you can see there's a cluster of them. We've just hopped up onto that. It's only very slight because it's only a couple of meters higher than the other. So we dip down a little bit and then we elevate it again. If you look around the other.
Fox,
Yep.
sorry, check your voice because I hear you very loud.
Alright, thank you.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so we've moved from 138 to all these cluster of 140s, so we've pretty much confirmed where we are. Well, the last thing we do is we just head west from here now, Burger, and we should pick up that 138 feature where the Gonzo 4 waypoint is, and then we'll just proceed from there as planned. Okay, so just step off west and we'll pick up that that waypoint. This is it here.
Yeah, it's really flat, so yeah, imagine.
Little bump here. This is 138.
Yeah.
Alright, all around defence. Just quick, I'll give a quick snap of where we are. Let's pull in here back to back, and so if you bring up your map, we've just moved west, or 42, I think it was exact, and found the 138 feature, which is the Gonzo 4 waypoint. So we've kind of, if you take a broader picture of what happened, we obviously had a contact near the landing zone, moved west, and then moved north, and then east, and then sort of figured out where we are. Just essentially just did a little clockwise route, just to looking at waypoints to figure out where we are, and now we can sort of step off on the remaining planned portion of the waypoints. It's still a way to go. I'm just conscious of time. We've probably got maybe half an hour left, so if everyone's happy to, we'll just continue to proceed to Goal 5 and to see how far we can get, and then we'll just set up an LUP with how far we proceed. We could have another contact, we could hit a mine, we could have a mine incident, who knows, but we're back where we need to be in terms of the planned route. Other thing we could do is we could call, I don't know if Pixel, we could call in an artillery strike to reference off to really lock in where we are, or do you feel confident this is where we are? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think you probably right, because looking at the terrain, I think we are at the 138.
100%.
Okay, what do you guys reckon, Sue and Co? What do you reckon this is where we are?
Roger. Agree.
Alright, and everyone? Alright. Boyer?
Yeah.
Alright, mate. Well, okay, cool. Alright, well, let's just shoot a bearing to Gonzo 5. So what do you reckon? Where are we? Burger, what bearing do we need?
300 mil. I'll just get the distance. It's good to know that if we hit a mine, I'm the guy that's taking the.
Yeah, that's the life of a scout. Generally, if there's someone going down, it's going to be the scout, generally speaking. So you get a target indication, and generally will be reference dead scout, and then whatever the details. So that's quite common.
Good to know.
Using the clock ray method, yeah, reference dead scout, 10 metres east, whatever you want to.
Is that all I am to you? Just a reference.
So say that again.
Is that all I am to you guys? Just a reference.
Yeah, you just pink mist and then an object just there. Do a clock ray target indication. Yep, definitely.
Good to know.
But on a good point, I was always taught to me you don't want the village idiot as a scout. So generally they're pretty switched on diggers. So yeah, take it as a badge of honour if you're up the front being a scout. Yeah.